Hey everyone, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Football Discussions. Today we are going to be continuing with our NFL record predictor season or series. Today we're going to be doing another AFC South team in the Houston Texans. So let's get right into it. Week 1 versus the New Orleans Saints. I think they're going to take a loss here. I think the Saints will start off their season nicely, Monday Night Football, and I think they're just going to get a dub here versus I put the Texans versus these Texans. So I think the Texans will face a loss here, week 1, versus the Jags in week 2. I think Houston will get a victory here, and they'll start off their season 1-1. And then in week 3, they're going to have to go into Los Angeles and play a very good Chargers team, and I think they're going to lose versus the Chargers. So I think the Chargers will get a victory here. And then in week 4, they're at home versus the Carolina Panthers, and I think that's going to be a victory here for the Texans. Same with week 5 at home versus the Falcons. I think the Texans will get a victory there. But then I think the Chiefs will get one versus the Texans in week 6. It's a very tough team to face, especially at home in Arrowhead. So I think the Texans are going to face a loss here in week 6. And then in week 7, they're going to get a away victory, a huge one, versus the Colts. Colts would be coming off their bye in that game, and I think the Colts will come out a little flat there. So we'll see how that game pans out. But I think the Texans will get the job done in week 7, as they will in week 8 versus the Raiders. I think at home versus the Raiders, the Texans will be able to get a big victory for themselves there. But I think in London, Jacksonville seems to always do well. London, I think Foles will put one on the Texans here, and they'll face a loss. Then they'll be coming off a bye playing this Baltimore Ravens team. I think the Texans will get a win versus the Ravens team. Have time to watch film and prepare for this game, a whole week to do so, or a whole 2 weeks to do so, I should say. I think that's going to result in the Texans getting a crucial victory for their season here versus the Baltimore Ravens. Then at home versus the Colts on Thursday night, it's going to be a short week for the Texans. They seem to never do well in those, so I think the Colts will get an away victory here, and will force the Texans to become a 6-5 football team. Definitely not where the Texans want to be at this point in their season for sure. But I think in week 13 they'll bounce back with a victory versus the New England Patriots, pushing them up to 7-5, and then they're gonna get a victory versus the Denver Broncos, making them 8-5. And then in week 15, I think they're going to take a loss here to the Titans, become a 9-5 team. Then they'll get a big victory for their season at least, versus the Buccaneers, who's just not a great football team. So I think the Texans will pull that one off. And then in week 17, I think they'll close out their season, making themselves go 11-5, which would make themselves tied with the Colts. I think that means that the Texans will actually have a better divisional record than the Colts, causing them to be the 1 seed if everything plays out how I'm guessing, which it definitely won't. But in this scenario, I think the Texans will win the AFC South. So that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. This has been another episode of Football Discussions. We'll see you guys next time.